Hey guys, welcome back to the
Hi, everybody.
Psychic Shari live stream show. Talking to Sherry Klein. Got a long, nice hour and a half show for you here to get all your readings in. Sherry, how was your week?
Oh, typical crazy.
Hot,
Doing, huh?
hot.
Hot?
Most of the
Yes.
country is in like a heat wave. I see my temperature widget down here says 94 degrees, and it's like 6 o'clock at night. So,
I did a read a couple of days ago for a girl in Serbia, Germany, and she said it was like 120 there. Like the temperature, not
wind
just.
chill. Oh no, it couldn't be.
I could have sworn that's what she said.
I don't know. I mean, that's I've
Pretty
heard,
bad.
I've heard, I've heard 120 wind chill or whatever they call it, but
Yeah, with when you factor, maybe that
the
was it.
humidity and things like that.
Yeah, what is ours with the humidity?
It's a like 105 to 110, something like that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's just that Europe typically does not get nearly the kind of heat that we do in the summer. We're
Yeah,
kind of used to it, not this hot, but
yeah.
we're kind of used to it, and European countries don't have typically air conditioner.
Oh,
That would suck.
yeah, it
So
would.
you had
Huh.
a little experience this week, didn't you? A little
I did.
paranormal experience you want to share with us?
Yes, I love when stuff like this happens. Although I don't love when it while it's happening, but afterwards I kind of like it. Um, we have a mini barn and it has a little lock on it, and we have one key, and my husband always says, "Do not lose this key. If you do, we're screwed. Don't." So what do? I
And so
lose
what
it.
do you do? Right.
And he was at work, and I'm like, "Oh, I put it in my hand, and it has like a little ring on it. I put it on my finger, and I went in the garage, and I got something else. And my garage is very clean. It's not cluttered. You've seen it, Bobby. Very few
Yeah.
things in there. And I went out there, and I came back in, and I'm like, "Rut-row, like, where'd that key go?" I knew it was in the garage. Well, 2.5 hours later, I searched under everything. I was on my hands and knees in the garage. We have a trash can, took everything out. So then, of course, I called a locksmith, and they were going to charge me $175 to come and take the lock out and put another one in. But they weren't going to, this was Saturday, and they weren't going to be there till Monday. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And so then I thought, I'm going to call in Saint Germain. And I do that whenever I misplace something. So I go, Saint Germain, come quick. Something's lost. It can't be found. I've lost this key to the mini barn. I need it quickly. And I said, oh, and by the way, could you just put it in the middle of my garage, right? And I was just kind of kidding. And so then I fiddled around doing something else. And I walked back out in the garage for probably the 10th time, in 3 hours. It was right there, like 2 steps out from the door. It was
Really?
like shining, like Stevie Wonder could have seen this. It was so bright. But I couldn't even believe it. It was
Wow.
crazy.
Huh.
And I have that happen a lot where things just, I tell you, they literally disappear. And
Oh,
yeah, some things don't ever come back.
really?
Uh, but now this one did. I was glad. But
Yeah, really.
it was so funny. Like, I called you right after it happened. I was like, I couldn't even believe it.
Sticking out. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
It is
Oh,
kind of fun. And remember, I told you I should have asked for a pot of gold in my in my garage
yeah.
instead of that key.
Yeah,
But
really. But saved you from a big argument, right?
oh yeah, you know him. He would have freaked out because he couldn't
Yeah.
get the lawnmower out for the weekend.
Yeah, really. So, all right. Well, good. You got
Yes,
the key. You saved yourself 150 bucks or something like that,
75.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to the readings?
All right.
And
Let's do it.
we'll do about 10 minutes, and I got a big announcement for everybody. About 10
Okay.
minutes into it, but let's go ahead and just start. And we've got Jax, Mangled Unicorn, your favorite username.
I know. Yeah. Well, I got a couple of favorites, but I do
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
All right. All right. So, wow. Normally we have Kathy
I know.
first.
She must be sick. I don't see her at all.
Wow. Okay.
Took the
All
day
right.
off, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Jax. Let's see what we've got going on here. One thing that comes up very quickly from your spirit team is they're saying it's time to take a breather, kind of slow down a little bit and catch your breath. Kind of that old saying, take time to smell the roses. Um, because they're saying it feels like you're throwing the cart before the horse, and you might be worrying about situations that may not ever cease to exist. Um, so when we do that, it cheats us of the now, but it also just burns energy. And then we just feel exhausted if we're always thinking about things in the past or always thinking about things in the future. Of course, we have to, plan for the future on this earth plane, but not, always trying to come up with situations on how we think that things are going to turn out. So that's the message for you, Jax, is kind of take time, slow down a little bit. That way, when you do, things won't get overlooked. Because as you know, when we get into a hurry, then that's where we can make mistakes and things of this nature. So that's the message for you, Jax.
Okay. Well, I hope that helped. Let's move to Veronica.
All right, Veronica, let's see what we've got going on here. Of course, I know we're here in the United States and 4th of July coming up, and we see just fireworks coming out of your head, and we love that. But these fireworks are more like ideas. And we just see so many ideas that come up and out with you that you think about, but we also see a lot of them that you don't really follow through with. And your spirit team is asking you to you know, get a hold of one of those and just run with it and see where it goes. And if you run into obstacles, that's okay, um, because you're always going to just pivot. They're kind of also showing me, like in your work arena, when you feel like, oh, I could do this better, or I could do this, more efficiently, then use your words and don't be scared to voice your opinion, so to speak. Um, But on the flip side of that, your spirit team is saying sometimes we don't want to tell everybody our shortcuts and things of this nature because that sometimes can separate us from other people, and kind of give us the edge. And that's kind of what they're saying with her. Um, it would be like if you train somebody, and we're not saying this is going to happen with Veronica, but if you train somebody on a job and then they come in and the company replaces you because that person knows all the in and out, that's kind of what they're saying with Veronica. Keep some things under the wrap, but they kind of show me where she's really good with ideas and thinking outside of the box, not only in the work arena, but even in the home life and with her friends and family. One thing too, real quick, they're showing me with her is on a boat. So I don't know. I know a lot of times, especially around the 4th of July, people get on boats and go boating and stuff. May not be for the 4th of July, but we do see where we do see you on the boat, on a boat. You may not own one, somebody does sometime here this summer, and we like it because this is where you might meet some new people too. So that's what comes up for you, Veronica.
Okay, good. Next up, Venus. What do you see for her?
All right, Venus, let's see. First thing that comes up for you from your spirit team is they're showing me kind of like a monkey on your back. Like it feels like there's always something tapping on your shoulder, like, oh no, did I do this? Did I do that? Come on, you got to do this. Or feels like a lot of anxiety might start to build up. And so when things do, if it's something that you can take care of in a timely fashion, then do it. And if it's something that you can't, then maybe write it down. I'm big on writing down lists because that way I can get it out of my head. And then I don't have to worry about forgetting it because I've written it down. Although that doesn't, Bobby, we know that doesn't always work, you know. But that's what we're seeing. A lot of things like they said, you can pull that monkey off your back. And we do feel like that you have probably, they showed me a tray, you've been multitasking, you've been having a lot of things on your plate. And we do see where some of that kind of just falls off by itself. And some of it you take it off. Make sure that it's yours. It's things of yours, and because when it's other people's things that we're worrying about, we don't have any control over that a lot of times. So they're saying kind of try not to burn the candle at both ends and kind of slow down a little bit. I think that's going to be the key for everybody in this show is maybe slow down. You know how we always have like a little thread that will run through. Something tells me that might be one of them. So
Oh,
that's what comes up for that individual.
okay. Venus. Hope that helps you, Venus. Now let's go to Beatrice.
All right, Beatrice. First thing that comes up, they show me you blowing horns. I feel like this is New Year's Eve, and you're just excited, and Spirit says you should be. They're proud of you. They said you've come a long way, and they're proud of you that you haven't given up. I feel like we're in the work arena. And one thing that your spirit team is saying is when you find yourself with extra money, a lot of times it's really easy to kind of go on a spending spree. And of course, you have to buy the things that you need, but your spirit team is kind of asking you to kind of put some in your back pocket, put some in your pocketbook, save it for a rainy day. It's always good to have a little bit of pocket, a little bit of cushion. And there's something to be said for saving money. It makes you, it feels, it gets you to where you're not fearful of not having enough. And when we're fearful of not having enough money, then we know what that does. Then things will happen that will take our money. Because it feels like they showed me your hand and the money just kind of stacks up. So the longer we feel, it's several months here, it feels like the money situation is really going to take a turn and work out really good for you, Beatrice. So that's what comes up for you.
Okay, good. Just a reminder, as our friend Charlotte likes to say,
Yeah,
please
hi,
like and
Charlotte.
subscribe to the channel. This does allow the channel to grow. The YouTube almighty algorithm to take this and look at it and say, wow, looks good. Let's distribute it out to more people. So we would appreciate that, and we appreciate Charlotte for
Okay.
spreading the word.
Yeah, thanks, Charlotte. She's one of our biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So,
She would like a reading.
all
What do you
right,
have for her?
Charlotte. Let's see what we've got going on. First thing that Spirit shows me is that that you're really good at putting on a smile even when you don't want to. And and that's okay because sometimes it's just easier that way. But they're also wanting you to really make sure that you don't ignore some of those feelings of maybe sadness or depression or anxiety. You know, just feel them. They're telling me, they're showing me markers, kind of goes back 10 years and then 7 years and then 5 years ago. And it's just an upward climb, like you've really come a long way. Now they said instead of you climbing up further spiritually, normally they would show me a pair of set of stairs, but you're getting like on an escalator. So it's like you're really kind of sailing on your own spiritual journey. Kind of funny when I said that. I don't know if you have ever done any ayahuasca retreats, or do you know what that is, Bobby?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, where you
Aaron
take.
Rodgers does that a lot.
Yeah, I love Aaron Rodgers. Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah, I know. Well, you take that stuff and then, you throw up and all this fun stuff, but then you go, it's kind of like a trip, like a acid trip or something. But they're kind of showing me like where you might do that, or somebody might ask you to go on an ayahuasca retreat. And of course, you know, a lot of times you have a shaman with you. You just don't do it at home by yourself. You're in a group of people, and you're, you know, watched over. And that's what we see maybe coming up for you. And when you do, it doesn't feel like you'll go alone. It feels like you might go with another girl. So that I always kind of wanted to do one of those. I've been a little nervous, but that might be something that comes up for you here in the next several months. So that would be very interesting. And of course, you know, um, if you do go into one of these or even a really heavy meditation, write down a lot of questions, because it feels like your spirit team is really opening up the channel, the connection with you. So you're probably getting a lot of really detailed messages from your guides. You might even be having new guides come in that you're not used to working with. Sometimes that they'll come in and they can be, I kind of say higher up, but you know, they can be, I guess I want to say higher up spiritually. So that's kind of what's coming up for you, Charlotte. So if you ever go on one of those ayahuasca retreats, we'd love to have you on the show for the first part of the segment so we can hear all about it, because everybody's is different. And I've heard a lot of people that go on them, and man, it's crazy.
Is it?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to Mahala. Mahala.
Okay, we did every time, Mahala. All right, let's
Mahala.
see what we've got
That's,
going on here.
that's what we're saying.
We see where here for the next couple of months that it feels like things are going to start to really smooth out for you. Life or situations in your life might have been a little bumpy here lately, but they're telling me that things are going to kind of iron out, things are going to smooth out, and some of them in ways that you might not have even thought about. So that's the beauty of it, is that when we release the outcome of what we want to spirit or to God or the angels, that's when they can really work their magic. And this is what we see coming in for you, is that you got to put it out what you want and then kind of release it. So it feels like if you haven't worked on it, you're doing something right, because things are starting to smooth out for you. And something about a move coming up for you. Um, they're showing me a box. A lot of times they show me a box and they show me somebody stepping out of the box. Now a move could be, I'm asking spirit, is this a house move? It does feel more like it might be where you live, where there might be starting to toss up where, oh, maybe I want to move somewhere different. Doesn't mean you're going to move really far away. It just means maybe somewhere different. Um, so that is what comes up, and it does feel like that this move is a good move. And again, this could be several months out, but it feels like wherever you're living now, it might be a little bit better. You'll like it better where you're at. You'll like the location better and the actual place better. So that's what comes up for you.
Good. Good. All right. Before we get to the next one, let's make that announcement now.
Okay.
For those
People act like we're going to, and you get a car, and you get a car.
no. Beginning July 18th, just so everyone knows, we will be beginning that week doing a second live stream. So we're going to still continue to do Wednesdays at 6 p.m., but we are going to add now a special Saturday show, Saturday at 10 a.m. for an hour.
Right.
So we're going to do twice a week instead of once a week. You know, as you know, we've been getting a lot of people on here, and we get to the end of our hour and a half show, and we've still got a number of people that are in line or in the queue that are looking for a reading.
Yeah.
And feel guilty about that. Feel bad that we had to cut them off. So we are adding a Saturday show beginning not this Saturday, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that. And from that point on, we will have shows on Wednesday evening at 6 and Saturday morning at 10. And the Saturday morning will be 1 hour. That gives us a chance to get the readings and then for everybody else to kind of enjoy their Saturday.
Right.
Most people are off work and have things to do, and that way, you can get a reading in the morning and still have most of your day to do what you want to do. So we hope that helps get everybody readings that they want to get.
I was going to say, hopefully I'll get up in time and I won't be here in my jammies with my hair all
Your
sticking
hair all
out,
frazzled,
no makeup on.
or I'll be on here all by myself, sitting here waiting for you.
Yeah. I normally I don't sleep that late on Saturdays because I'm so used to getting up so early all the time, you know.
Oh yeah. So
Um, but
okay, so yeah, beginning the 18th, please make a point to join us
yeah,
on
somebody just
the
wrote
18th.
what time on Saturday the 28th? It's
It
the
is
18th
the
at
18th
10.
at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So, not this week, not next week, the week after. We're giving plenty of leeway for people to, maybe adjust their schedule or whatever they need to do.
Or
But,
maybe tell your friends too, because we probably won't have that many people on at the beginning.
well, yeah,
I don't know, but it'll build up
yeah.
the
So
clients.
we'll see how things go. This is a way to just kind of open up the time to get everybody the reading that they want.
Hmm.
So, all right, we're looking forward to that, and we will hopefully see you all on Saturday the 18th as well.
Yep.
And let's move on to Leora. She'd
All
like a
right.
reading.
Okay. Hi, Leora. Let's see what we've got going on here. Instantly, they kind of threw me into the heart chakra. Kind of feel a little sadness. I kind of it kind of dropped down a little bit here. A little bit of sadness. Um, you might be going through a rough time emotionally. That happens with all of us. This earth is like a roller coaster. And even if something hasn't happened that causes this sadness or this heavy feeling, sometimes when this happens for no apparent reason, it can be where we've stuffed down things in the past and we didn't deal with them, and now your higher self is like, oh well, maybe now is time where you can deal with it. So that might be where these waves might start to come up for no reason. And when they do, just feel them. Try not to make yourself busy. So many people, when they, and I'm notorious for this, when we don't feel good, when we feel off kilter or sad or something, we try to stay busy. And me, I'll start to clean because cleaning to me is normal because that's what I do all the time. And so they're saying, try not to do that. Try to just sit in the stillness and feel it. And this would be a good rule of thumb for really anybody. You just feel it, because when you do it, doesn't give it power. It actually is like, oh, okay, good. My job here is done, so I can come up and out. Now, it doesn't mean that's going to be the last time you ever feel sadness or a little bit of a depression. It comes in layers. But it feels like that so many times throughout your lifetime, when we go back through your timeline, where, you know, it feels like you've had broad shoulders, you might get kicked down and then you get back up and you don't have time to process some of the things that's happened to you throughout your, childhood even, because they're taking me back. And even some of that can come up now, even when you're an adult. Um, because they say you're really good at stuffing things down, but again, you can only do that for so long, and then it's just going to start to come up and out. So that might be what's coming up for you. But the good thing is, what they're showing me is that it won't last long, because sometimes, they're taking me down through your timeline where you might have, stayed in this sadness or depression for long periods of time when you jump down a rabbit hole. But it feels like you can pull yourself up and out pretty quickly now, because you're the only one that can make you happy. You're the only one that can make you sad. And so that's what we see coming up for you, is we call that just processing. And we love it, because when you get rid of that, then it just opens up for more light, to come in. So that's what's coming up for you,
Hmm.
Leora.
Okay. Well, a little light at the end of the
You
cloud.
know, we all go through, and I do that too a lot of times, and especially on this show. Um, I know we have a lot of people who are very empathic and intuitive, and we pick up on things that are happening, because we're all one, throughout the world. And sometimes that will weigh on us, and we won't realize that's what it is. Um,
Hmm.
and so that's when you kind of transmute it and send it to the light, um, and raise your vibration. And the way you do that, do things that make you happy or think of things that make you happy, smile, dance, whatever makes you happy, that raises your vibration. And we're all one. So we're helping the whole planet when we do
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
One person at a time.
Yeah. All right. So now let's move on to Polly.
Okay, Polly, let's see. The minute when I pick up on your voice, Polly, I can see this tick, 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 tick. It's like somebody's tapping on your shoulder, and this is one of your guides. So you might have a new guide. If you don't work with your guides, then they are really standing there with their arms crossed, tapping their foot, waiting for you to connect with them. Now, you don't have to, but if you are connecting with your guides, this feels like one that you haven't connected with. And again, sit down, you have to make the intention. Try to do it every day. Do a small 5-10 minute meditation. Um, Pay attention to when you start to get these feelings, when you start to sit down and work with the guide. Each guide brings a different energy. Just like Irene, when she was coming, she always comes on this side, my right side, and she'll kind of do my shoulder like that sometimes. And my protectors always come on my left. So work with them and kind of feel, you'll get the sense of kind of where they're at and start asking. The more you ask, the more you'll receive. People think that when they start working with their guides, that their guides know everything. It's not that way. I don't want to say you're the boss, but you're kind of the boss. And because you can choose not to even work with them at all. But it feels like that you're ready. And again, one of them really wants to come in and really start working with you on a serious level. Because they said they have big plans for you. I don't know if you're a healer. Of course, everybody says they're healers, and you can be healers in different modalities. But your way doesn't feel like it's a traditional way of healing, like a Reiki, hands-on healing. Yours could be a different way. And that we love that because you're not a cookie cutter. You kind of want to dance to your own drum. I could really talk forever, but one thing too, feels like a protector that's coming in for her. Or what, yeah, Polly, it feels like a protector coming in because I kept hearing drums as I was talking. So that's what comes up for you, Polly.
Okay. Uh, let's go to Christina now.
All right. Hi, Chris. Let's see what we've got here. Your team says just go all in. If there's something you want to do, you know what, just do it. And try not to talk yourself out of talking yourself out of it. Try to talk yourself out of talking yourself out of it. That's weird how they said that. So, in other words, don't talk yourself out of it. Just go all in. And um, they said you'll figure it out. Feels like there might be, they're kind of showing me a lot of different areas of your life starting to move in a little bit of different directions. So I don't know if you work outside of the home. It feels like something in the work arena might alter a bit or take a turn. There might even be talk maybe about a move of the home, um, or maybe even a different home. Not quite for sure. It feels like there's a lot of different, it's like all these different moving parts. And when it starts to take off, it's going to maybe feel a little overwhelming because there's a lot of changes. And I don't know if you're like me, I don't do well with change. And it's kind of fearful for me to change anything, even my living room around. Um, so you might get the sense like, wow, life is really happening to me, and it might feel a little bit out of control, but in a good way, because we see all of the changes that are coming up for you are good for the most part. And even new people might come into your life, new friends, um, new workers, new neighbors, something, but we like all of it because it feels like each one of these opens up different doors of opportunity because you've needed a change. Feels like you might have felt like you're stuck or life is kind of flatlined. And so now it's kind of like feast or famine, nothing or all. And so that's what we're seeing with you is a lot of movement and it's kind of exciting. So just kind of go with the flow and just try to go with wherever it leads you because we like the outcome of what we see for it. So
Okay.
that's what comes up for you, Chris.
Okay. Now let's go to Jag. And this is a reminder to everybody. If you're looking for a reading tonight, actually post in the comments that you would like a reading because we wouldn't really know whether you did unless you specifically say that. And if you have a username that does not include your first name, then in the comments include your first name so that we can refer to you by your first name. But we'll refer to this person as Jag. What do you have for
Okay.
Jag? That may be his or her first name. I don't know, but
All right. Let's see what we've got. Um, Again, they're throwing me into Jag's heart energy too. And this kind of goes all around him. We're also seeing where people might be pulling on your heart because they are showing me a cord that kind of pulls you backwards. So this can be situations around you in the family, friends, and feels like that you're getting pulled maybe in different directions, maybe in people's drama, maybe people are kind of pulling on your heartstrings like I'm going through a rough time, can you help me, I need money. I mean, it can just be a lot of things that can pull on the heart here, because it feels like you're very compassionate, but keep in mind you can only give what you got, and that there are people. Now we're not saying that it might not be happening right now, but they are wanting me to caution you that it's kind of like when a stray cat comes and you feed it, here they come again and again and again.
yeah.
It's kind of what they're showing me is use your gut feeling, your intuition. You'll know when people are starting to take advantage of you. And people will start out slow usually when they do that, and then they just keep adding, and then it almost gets to where they expect it. So
Hmm.
when you get someone in your life like that, you've got to draw the line in the sand because you can only give what you got. And,
Yeah.
sad to say, there are a lot of people that try to take advantage. And another thing too, and this kind of came up, people will take advantage of people when they're down and out too, when they're vulnerable. And that's kind of might be what we're seeing here. Um, so that's kind of a word of caution, but they're saying use your gut feeling. We love your intuition. We love your gut feeling. You're really good at picking up on the energy of people. And for the most part, you can spot a liar. Um, and I'll do this a lot of times too. When I know that somebody's lying to me, I won't call them out on it. I like to sync up on their voice vibration, or I like to watch them, but a lot of times I do it on the voice vibration. And even though you don't know you're picking up on it, the next time if that person lies to you, you will pick up on that vibration. And a lot of times too, this is so weird, Bobby. Like if I'm talking to somebody, like how we're talking, or in person, if somebody lies, sometimes they blur out their mouth. Like if you're
Really?
if you're watching something and somebody cusses and they blur out that will not always, but sometimes that'll happen, which I
Wow.
think is kind of cool, really. So it makes it easy, you
It
know.
does. If you can
So,
trust it. Yeah.
so that's kind of what comes up for Jag.
Okay. Exciting.
Uh huh.
Let's move on to Carrie. What do you have for Carrie?
All right, Carrie. Let's see what we've got going on here. So funny. They showed me a bunch of dogs. You may not even have a dog, but of course, we know my guides, they use symbolism. They dropped it down. These are like, I call them hound dogs, beagles, hunting dogs. And you have two going this way and two going that way. And it's like you're getting pulled in different directions, but they're on the trail of something big. I'm trying to ask Spirit, why are we doing this here? Oh, okay. That's kind of funny. Normally they'll show me somebody's on the fence about something, but they're showing me she's getting just literally pulled in two directions. And she might be feeling like she's getting the hunch, like, oh, I like this, like a hound dog would, you know? But no, I like this too. Spirit says sometimes, you know, you can just let go of those dogs and let them run loose, and you can just stand there and wait until something feels right. So many times when we have situations where we feel like we got to make a decision. And whenever we feel like we have to make a hasty decision, that's usually not going to be our friend. But then if we just kind of sit back and sleep on it, that's when sometimes we'll know which way to go. So this might be coming up for you, Carrie, and it could even be, should I go here or there? Might even be something, um, I was going to say kind of silly as to where I'm going to go on vacation. But to me, that's a big deal. But, you know, as we know, Bobby, everything, um, if she takes a, let's say she goes on a vacation here, uh, that might open up different doors of opportunities. You might meet somebody. You might meet somebody who's going to be a friend for the rest of your life. Let's say you go to the other place. You know, maybe you could meet somebody else. You know, it just everything. You just don't know. Everything has so many twists and turns to it.
Right.
But with this decision, it feels like either decision. Um, I don't want to say won't be a wrong one. Some decisions will be a little bit easier, have a little bit more opportunity than other decisions. But either way, on some level, your higher self wanted to experience both of them. So, whichever decision that you make, keep in mind that that was the right one for you at that time. Because we can always change our mind, we can always pivot. And so many times when people, even when they go to get in relationships or go to move or get a job, they act like that's it. That's the last one. And if I screw this up, you know, I can't do anything. But yet it's like you could always, a lot of them you can just change and pivot. So that's kind of what we see coming up for her. So
Okay.
just go with your gut.
All right. Let's move to Eileen. Welcome
Okay.
back, Eileen.
Hi, Eileen. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. When I get into Eileen's energy, of course, I'm just seeing her going all the way around. Always feels like spirit's showing me a hummingbird. Just kind of goes very fast, and kind of all over the place, but just kind of sometimes goes solo by themselves. A lot of times you might not see hummingbirds come in, you know, a whole bunch of them. It'll just be one little hummingbird. And that's kind of what we see with her is that she's very comfortable doing things all by herself. Um, Even traveling, that is something I could not do by myself. I don't even, I couldn't do it. But it feels like this is very comfortable for her. Coming up, some travel. And one thing that Spirit is asking you is um, a lot, you know, you're good at giving advice. We love the way that we see that you give people advice, but they're also asking you to really listen. Um, and try not to even think about what you're going to say until you hear everything that the other person says. because that might change what you're going to reply, what you're going to say back to this person, because it feels like you're going to be helping an individual with your words, because it feels like someone around you is really going to need your help. And it's beautiful the way that you can say things at just the right time, that can really trigger something in somebody, that can really help them get on their way, I guess, or to make them feel better. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a whole big, spill. It could just be a couple of words. And they might not even say anything to you. So a lot of times you say things like this and you don't know that you're helping people, but they say, keep dancing to your own drum, keep staying connected with God and Source, and your words impact many, is what I hear. So
Okay.
that is your message, Eileen.
Good message. Now let's go to Elise from the Netherlands.
Okay.
Welcome
Hi,
back, Elise.
hi, Elise. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. One thing that Spirit is showing me is like a helium balloon that's tethered down, and they said you're just getting ready to really get out and explore and start to do things that you wanted to do, but you never could. We're not saying every single thing that you've ever wanted to do in your entire life you're going to do here in the next year, but we see where you're going to start to really know that you are making forward progress, and you're going to really start to feel good about yourself and about your life. And you're going to start to realize that you do have more control over some of these situations in your life, more so than you ever have. And people are really going to start to notice a difference in you. And they're going to really start to wonder, hey, what is she doing differently? Sometimes they won't be able to put their finger on it, and maybe you won't either. But you will start to feel this forward momentum. And I heard Spirit say she'll be able to feel the magic. And so that's what we see with you. And they're saying, dream big and really start to write down or concentrate on what do you really want. So many times people think, oh, Spirit, help me, what do you want? And a lot of, it's so funny. When I do a lot of readings too, Bobby, I'll say, what would make you happy? And I'm telling you, so many people, like, they just, they don't even have an answer.
Hmm.
And it's like, how do you expect your spirit team and your guides to help you? Let's give a little more detail here. And of
Yeah.
course, they can surprise you and bring in things but you gotta, it kind of speeds up the process if you really say, I really need help with this. Just like when I said, I want to see Saint Germain, please bring me that key, and I'd like to see it in the middle of my garage. He could have brought me the key, and I found it on the car of my, the bottom of my car, on Tuesday after I had paid $175 for the locksmith.
Yeah. Huh?
So that's your message for you is smooth sailing. Yeah, we do see we do like what we see for the next 3 or 4 months is what really stands out. So
Okay.
that's for you, Elise.
All right. Hope that helped you. Okay, so now let's go to B, and let me give people an update real quick. Shari is just giving general readings only here. She won't be addressing specific questions today, or as usual. She's tapping into your higher self and spirit guides to share things they want you to know. So it's about the spirit guides communicating to you what they think you should know, rather than you ask them a specific question. If you do have a specific question and you really need it answered, then after the show, in the comments section, type in that specific question. Or if you didn't get a general reading today, if we've run out of time for you, type in that you'd like our reading. And Shari, after the show, will answer your question or give you a reading. So you get a reading today. It won't be through the live stream, possibly, but it will be a reading nonetheless. Okay, so B, what do you have
Okay.
for her?
I love B. I know I've said this, but it always reminds me when I first met Irene, my guide, she would say BEE or BE or BBB on license plates. And that's always what that reminds me of.
Really?
Took me forever to figure that out. It was it was many years ago. And then it was so simple. And I'm like, I was thinking it would be something really hard. And Irene is like, it's just let it be, you know? So, all right. So let's get into this energy here, what we've got. Oh, they show me the cereal Lucky Charms. Remember that, Bobby, with the little
Yeah.
leprechaun and everything's lucky? We love that. And they're showing me like the four-leaf clovers. Of course, we all know that has got to be good. We love that. It's like good luck, good things are coming, but it's magic. That's the word your team is really focusing on is magic. When you expect it, then magical things can happen. It feels like your energy is really bubbly and really elevated more so than normal. And when that does that, boy, it just seems to ooze out of you. And it's as if wherever you go, it's kind of like when I'm having a good day on the highway, it feels like all the cars just part for me and I just keep going down the lane all by myself out of traffic. It's like you're in the right lane at the right time. This feels like it's going to continue for quite some time. Um, we really like Christmas time for you. We like the month. We're gonna say November, December, even into January. Your life uh, is really taking off here, starting to take off into a direction that you kind of want, but you didn't realize it would happen as soon as what it did. Because they're showing me at that time, January, February, where you look back at your life and think, man, I would have never guessed I would be where I'm at right now. And these are good things that are happening, and so many things seem to happen at once. Um, just a lot of new adventures coming in, maybe even new people. Um, One thing that they are cautioning you is to make sure that you're you. And, so many people, they show me a raccoon. We'd like to put on a persona like, oh, look, I'm happy and everything's great and super. Or you try to alter your personality into what you think another person would like, because a lot of us are really good at that. But they're saying just try to take that mask off and just be you, because the people are around you, and even the people that you're going to meet are going to like the original you better than the one that's trying to people please. So that's what comes up for you, B, is just write it out, because it feels like a lot of fun. They use the word adventure now twice, so we like that for you.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Angel. What do you have for her?
Okay, Angel, let's see what we've got. They show me you packing up things. It doesn't feel so much like a move. It feels more like you're clearing out things. This may be something that you're doing or getting ready to do, clearing things out of your home. Because they're showing me you looking at something and thinking, do I really need this? Even some things that you might have hung on to because you think they're sentimental. And then you might think, you know what, that's all right. I'm going to give this, one man's trash is another man's treasure. But we just see where you kind of are going through. Kind of reminds me, ruh-roh, we lost Bobby. But, there he
Oh,
is.
yeah, we lost you. I lost
Oh,
you. So,
that's funny.
uh-huh.
Um, we see you like me. If I were to go through old photo albums, I get sad when I look at my kids when they were young or my grandkids, and I think, man, where did the time go? You know, it just goes so quick.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we see with this, with Angel, is that, you know, we kind of see you going down memory lane. And if you go back and you run across someone or a situation in your mind that didn't set well or you didn't get closure, now might be time to where go back and revisit that in your mind and maybe even try to reach out to the person if you so choose and try to get things ironed out there. And this might be something totally different. We are seeing where there might be a relationship, maybe with the friend or a family member, where it feels like there might be some feathers ruffled, maybe either on their part or your part, but it feels like it's just miscommunication. Like you didn't mean it or the other person didn't mean it, but somebody took it the wrong way. And I always go back to text. You know how texting, you just don't really get the full meaning or the emotion behind it. So if there's a situation like that that's kind of bugging you, maybe reach out to that person or revisit it in your mind and see if you could have done something different. So that's what comes up for you, Angel.
Okay. All right. Why don't we? We're a little beyond halfway, but why don't we go
Wow.
ahead and do our alphabet messages now? I know people
Okay.
have been waiting for those
Oh
probably
yeah.
since.
Chomping at the bit.
Uh-huh. Okay, so especially for you new people, we're going to do some alphabet messages now. Sherry's going to provide a spiritual message to everyone at the same time listening to the show live or through a recorded version of it in the future. It works either way. Now, what we're going to do is everyone is going to select a letter. It's going to be an a B, or a C. Don't think about it. Whatever just popped into your head, that's your letter. Because if you think about it, if there's a split second delay, that's your mind giving you that letter. We don't want your mind giving you the letter. We want spirit to give you the letter. So now we should all have our letter. We should all have something popped into your head. And now Sherry's going to give us a spiritual message based upon that letter. Sherry, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
I was just reading some of the comments. I saw Debbie Castle, yippee! I know, Debbie, you like those, so that's good. All right, so what I do is I sit down in a little quiet space with my guides and I get the alphabet messages. So if you see me reading them, that's what I'm doing. So these are kind of fun. These are a little different. So if you chose A, the rocking chair energy comes in for you. If you find yourself going forward and, you know, one step, two steps, and then backwards, one step, two step, just like you're in a rocking chair, your guides want me to remind you that things and situations are balancing. They're balancing out in your life. Sometimes we need to slow down, regroup, and in order for the balancing to take place. Everything works better when it's balanced. So that's if you chose A. And I love it how she used the analogy like with the chairs. So, all right, so now if you chose B, that's the swivel chair energy is coming in for you. So if you find yourself spinning in circles and you don't know which way to turn, the best thing to do is just stay put and stay seated or else grounded, and then wait until the spinning has stopped. Then your next move will present itself with little effort on your part. So, and when they say grounded, you know, that can be go outside, do deep breaths, turn off the electronics. So, you know, the swivel chair where just like I'm on one right now, it'll spin all the way around. So that's kind of fun if you chose B. So now if you chose C, this is the high chair energy comes in for you. And yes, it's like a baby's high chair. When this energy comes in for you, it's reminding you to stop yourself when you start to whine or when you start to throw a temper tantrum or complain a lot. Nobody wants to be around someone who is always complaining about their life or about other people or even about their health issues. We all know those people that every time you talk to them, they have to give you a whole rundown of everything that's wrong with them, every ache and pain. And then lo and behold, next time you talk to them, they'll have new aches and pains. It's because they're throwing that out to the universe, and the universe thinks that's what they want. But the same is true if you talk about things, that are going good. Although we don't, always want to brag either. There's a fine line. But we can go on and on. But anyway, circling back, C is for the high chair. And again, just kind of stop yourself if you are, complaining a lot. And so, yeah, so those are fun. Those are really different than what we normally do, aren't they,
Yeah.
Bobby?
Definitely.
Yeah, that when Irene said that, because normally we'll do the animals, or the plants or colors, and she goes, no, everything holds energy. Let's do this. And I thought that's super cool.
Yeah. What was your letter?
I picked B because I forget what I wrote down, and then as we're talking, mine in a swivel chair, and me, I've been running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So
Yeah.
I do. I'll get on Amazon, especially with the remodel. I get on Amazon, order this and that and that and that, and then I'm like, I get it, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, if I would just slow down, then I wouldn't have to send my husband to go make a lot of returns because I don't.
Yeah.
Which letter did you do?
See,
Oh, you're the high chair.
I know the high chair.
Um, I don't know that. I don't know. You don't really complain a lot or throw temper tantrums.
No,
So,
just in my mind.
yeah,
I
well,
don't express it, but I'm thinking it.
yeah. And as we say, thoughts are energy.
Yeah, I know.
I should have picked C. I'm always, I'm always complaining about something, but not always. But oh well,
Yeah.
I'm a work in progress.
Yeah.
So,
All right, back to the readings.
okay.
And coincidentally, we do have Debbie Castle.
Okay. Hi, Debbie. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. Huh. It's kind of fun. They instantly showed me her with oh, a crown on your head. It's a gold crown with a bunch of jewels. Isn't that fun?
Mm.
Like she's a king. Um, and you're going to find that people are really going to, because as I'm talking, I can still carry on two conversations. I don't know how I do that. I can talk and hear the spirit at the same time. Isn't that weird?
Hmm.
But because when they show me that, I'm like, why are you doing that? But they're saying that people are really going to start to not bow down to you, but they're going to start to really take you seriously, especially when you say something. And it's like you just kind of have to you have to just say things once, and it's like people really pick up on it. People are going to almost come out of the woodwork to try to help you. And this could be in various situations of your life. It could be in the finance department. It could be with physical work, maybe on the house or a car. It could be with legal issues, anything. But it feels like that people are really going to take you seriously now. And when you say something, they're going to assume that you mean it. And they're really going to look at you with not that people didn't. What is the word, Irene? You're trying to put in my mouth, in my words here. Um, Gosh, it went right in and out of my head. Bring it back, Irene. People are really going to look at you almost like I don't even know what word they're trying to say. Not that they're putting you up on a pedestal, but kind of like you would a king. They listen to a king, you say it once, and that's it. And again, Irene said, don't let that go to your head to where your head gets so big that you can't put that crown on because this might be going on for quite some time where you start to get your way and people really do take you seriously because before sometimes it feels like you could talk until you were blue in the face and it felt like sometimes you would not get anywhere. But we're just seeing where a lot of helping hands is what they're saying is coming in. And when they do, take advantage of it, because you're good at helping people too. So it's not like it's all one sided, because we feel like it will be balanced, because when people help you, you always, help them in some way. So that's what comes up for you, Debbie. So yeah, enjoy all of these hands. And they literally show me like a bunch of hands coming in, like almost out of the walls. It's kind of fun. So
Really?
not in a creepy way, but like hands coming in and helping her.
I seem like a horror movie.
No, no, you're stupid.
No.
Ah,
All right, let's move on to Becky. What do you have
all
for
right.
her?
All right, Becky, let's see what we've got going on here. One thing that Spirit says is there is an aspect of you that needs to have alone time, because they kind of showed me you like playing solitaire. And even though if you like to be out and about and around a lot of people, and even if you get that fear of missing out, there's a side of you that needs to be alone just to regroup. And it feels like you might either be in that situation right now, or might be getting ready to where you're going to have some alone time. Um, because it feels like you're pretty intuitive, you're an empath, and you're picking up on a lot of people's energy around you, and you might not know you're doing it. That's why you have to pull yourself away. That's why people get on your nerves. And well, not the only reason, Irene said, um, but yeah, so a lot of that is energetic. So we would suggest that you try to clear your energetic field. You can do it anyway. What you just do it with your intention, with your thoughts. Say, I release anything that doesn't serve me. Fill yourself up with what you want. So that's what's coming for you. They're also showing me you writing things down, but you're really thinking here. What is this, Irene? It doesn't feel like it's a book, but it feels like there's a part of you that it's kind of like a diary, but you want to write things down in your life, um, that maybe not even for you, maybe for someone else when you're long and gone, 100 years from now, when somebody reads it and they'll think, oh, that's really neat. I try to do that with my kids. And I've said this before on the show, like write down how much gas is, how much I paid for my house, and groceries, and things like that. Because when people read that, 30, 40 years from now, I think that'd be fascinating. I wish our mom would have did something like that. Um, but yeah, so it just feels like you're wanting to write things down that other people in the future will read. And again, it can even be self-help things too, because it feels like you could almost write a book because you've been through a lot and you've gotten through a lot. And the way that you maneuvered and got through a lot of some tough situations might be very handy for other people. So that might be something that you want to think about writing down too. So that's what comes up for you, Becky.
Okay. I hope that helped you, Becky. Now we move to Gary.
Okay.
What
Hi,
about Gary?
Gary. Let's see what we've got going on here. First thing that comes up is your spirit team, and it kind of boomerangs from another message. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if you need to get help from your neighbors for some situation, or from a family member, or a friend, a coworker, anything. If you need help, use your words and ask. You might be surprised at how many people are around you in your circle right now that are willing to help you without any attachments. Um, even people who may not even know you, if you reach out, it's amazing. What comes to mind is, when people have bad situations and people will do like GoFundMe accounts, Bobby, you know how they'll
Yeah.
do things like that. And it's amazing that all these people that don't even know these people, give money. We're not saying that started a GoFundMe account, Gary, but it just feels like that people that you don't even know if you ask for help, you might be surprised that they can come in and help you, because it feels like you're in a situation where you might need somebody else to help you, and that's okay. Don't be ashamed to ask. Of course, you have a lot of loved ones, and helpers on the other side, but these are humans. These are people who are alive that we see are coming in that can really help you. So that's the message for you, Gary.
Okay. Hope everything works out for you, Gary.
It
How
feels
about
like it
Crystal?
is.
Yeah. How about Crystal?
Okay. Hi, Crystal. We do like your name, because instantly I am drawn to crystals because they threw me right into this crystal right here.
Mm.
One thing, we love outdoors for you and trees. You might be visiting a place that you used to go to as a child. What they impress me with things. There's a park, Bobby. Remember Ellenberger Park?
Uh-huh.
I that there is still that great big tree that was there when we were kids.
Really?
Yes, and I went there, oh, it was a couple of years ago, and I sat down under that tree. And it's like that tree remembered me. I talk to trees. Bobby thinks I'm nuts, everybody, but I don't care, I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're laughing. There's people, I guarantee you, there's people that are on here right now that do the same thing.
There
Because
might
we
be
can.
few on here that are laughing like me.
Well, I don't care. Um, but anyway, that's what they're impressing me with. So, Crystal, with you, it doesn't mean you're going to go visit and talk to a tree. You could, but it feels like you might go back to a childhood place. Um, and it's funny how you're going to see it totally different than when you saw it when you were a child. And it's just going to be really fascinating for you. In fact, it feels like you might even connect with someone, a childhood friend that you haven't seen in many, many years. And it might just be really a fun connection to see how your life has transpired and how, your childhood friends has. And then you guys just might reunite again. Relationships can do that. They kind of split off and then they come back. That's kind of what we see with you, Crystal, is a trip down memory lane. So it's kind of
Mhm.
fun. So
I
that's what
always like those trips.
huh?
I always like those trips. I
You
have
know what?
old home movies that I would like to watch.
Oh man. Remember when Debbie gave us, that's our sister, gave us that voice thing of mom on the phone?
Yeah.
I don't even remember her sounding like that. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
God, I think I'm a walk-in because I've never heard that lady in my life.
Real.
Honestly, her and Kathy, I, I wouldn't even know who they were.
Your sister and your mother?
Yes. But I mean, this
Wow.
was many years ago, but it doesn't, it's strange. It's like I don't even know who they are. Isn't that weird?
It is a little weird.
I know.
Uh,
So,
uh,
yikes.
yeah. Well, I mean, the recording was a little distorted because it was
Yeah.
like 30 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I know. I always told you I thought I was a walk-in,
Yeah,
that when I got hit on the head.
you got hit on the
Or
head.
well, when I fell and knocked myself out.
When was this?
Remember me telling you that?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh my God. Like when uh, my husband and I were at the casino. Remember me telling you and I fell?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I woke up and this guy with white hair was like hovering over me and he kept saying, "Are you okay?" And the casino lady's like, get away from her, but it was, I'm telling you, ever since then, I'm telling you, it something weird has happened.
Hmm. How long ago was this?
Oh God, I don't know. I'll have to ask Dave. God, it's probably been 9 years ago, maybe
Really?
7 years, maybe
Oh,
seven. I don't know.
okay. So you've been able to like, you've been a psychic for longer than.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
it's
you
not
did,
like it just snapped in,
yeah.
but
Hmm.
it's like sometimes I think I had a walk in.
A
So
temporary, or is it like permanent?
permanent.
Really? Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh God, we've lost. Click, click. People are probably getting. Anybody
Yeah,
knows what walk? One day we'll talk about walk-ins and things of that
that
nature.
would be interesting. Yeah. I mean, we've
Yeah.
got that Saturday show coming up now. Maybe we could
Yeah.
spend a few minutes here or on that other show with topics. We used to do topics,
Yeah.
10 minutes or so.
Yeah. I thought
And,
you were going to have that thing scrolling across. I don't see
oh, I
it.
did. I've
Oh,
had
you did?
that.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, maybe we could start doing that because up to this point, we stopped the topics because we've had so many people requesting reviews or readings that we felt that we would be best served given readings. So maybe we do some more topics. I mean, those things are kind of interesting, you know?
Yeah. See right here. And this girl wrote, I think it was Crystal. Yes, I love trees. And she says, and she talks to them.
Does she?
See? Told you.
Well, okay. I'm not, good for you and Crystal. I'm
Yeah. And when you have a tree talking to you, don't be calling me up
oh,
freaking out.
I won't. I won't. All right, let's move on to Sherry, who
Okay.
spells her name correctly.
All right, Sherry, let's see what we've got going on here. All right. One thing I'm very drawn into the home. I know there's a lot of spirit activity that comes and goes in her home. Feels like you might go through a little bit of a downtime. Bobby and I were raised in a haunted house, and it's like things would happen a whole bunch and then nothing. It's almost like we couldn't make it happen. It just kind of would on its own. That's kind of what I'm picking up here with Sherry. Things might kind of die down, but it feels like Sherry's like us. She loves this spirit activity. And what are they saying here? I don't know if you're going on a road trip. It feels like you might be driving somewhere, because they're actually showing me one of your loved ones from the other side in the car with you as you go. I don't know if you're by yourself. Because they're just kind of showing me you and your loved one on the other side. But it feels like a fun adventure, something that you're doing. We hope that you have your summer calendar filled with a lot of fun events and not just all work and no play. Um, and so we see even penciling things in and doing things with friends and even little cookouts or get togethers. We like this for you too. And these don't, it could be family, but it feels more like friends that we see coming up for you. Um, what else is coming here? Um, One thing too, real kind of off the wall, Spirit is saying, don't take everything to heart. It feels like with an individual that's in your life right now, this could be a relationship, family. Don't take everything to heart. Sometimes, we people just have bad days. Sometimes we say things that we don't really mean, that can be probably more hurtful than what we expect. So that might be someone around you that might say something a little snappy, that kind of hurts your feelings or ruffles your feathers. They're just saying try not to take it too hard, because sometimes people lash out at people that they love the most and that they know that, I can do this because this person is still going to love me or care for me. So that's kind of what we see coming up for you, Sherry, is try not to let it, you know, try just to, I guess, bite your tongue a little bit if something like this happens, because it feels like that person will come back the next day or a little bit later and say, you know what, I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. I was having a bad day. So that's kind of what comes up with for you. But try not to come with a rebuttal really quick, because then it's going to turn into a snowball into something bigger than what you would probably like. So that's what comes up for you, Sherry.
Hmm. Okay. Hope that helps you, Sherry. Now let's go to Augusta. Got about 15 minutes left.
Uh, okay, all right, Augusta, let's see what we've got going on here. All right. First thing they're showing me is I'm very drawn to the shoulders. And I just feel like, wow, the weight of the world is on the shoulders. And so many times, what they're showing me is monitor your thoughts. Because so many times, like with me, when things go bad, then man, I can really make things worse with my thoughts. That's kind of what Spirit is saying for you is try not to let your thoughts go wild and think of the worst thing that can happen. Because they're saying a lot of times you might put the cart before the horse and worry about things that aren't going to happen or things aren't even going to be that bad. In fact, some of the things that they're showing me, and this is through a series of events maybe for the next 6 months, is that when something in your mind, when you think something has gone wrong, you will find that later on down the road, you're going to think, wow, I'm glad that happened, because if that wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened. And it'll make more sense, but at the time, things might not feel like, oh, this is horrible. It really isn't. Well, horrible was a stretch, Irene. She said, don't say horrible. When things don't go the way you think they will, they said there's a reason for it sometimes. And it just feels like, thank you. We are seeing a rainbow around you. So you are having a lot of healing energies coming to you. And we love this. And this feels like that it's a mix between the spirit world sending you healing and maybe people that are around you. Again, you have someone who really loves you in your corner, because you might, they kind of show me you in a boxing ring, like where you're down like this and somebody comes up behind you and kind of holds your shoulders up, like say, come on, you got this. So you do have some big cheerleaders, that people that will help you here in the physical, here on this earth plane. Sometimes we get to where we can't see light at the end of the tunnel. There is a light there at the end of the tunnel. And this little stretch that we see where things might get a little bumpy, it's not going to last very long. So, and you're going to see that you had to experience this in order to get you over the hill, so to speak, to where Spirit really wants to work with you and let some magical things happen for you. So they said, it's your time. It's your time to shine. And, you know, sometimes we all go through tough times. You
Hmm.
know, they don't have to last forever. They can be very short. So that's what comes up for you.
Okay. Well, I hope that helped you. Now let's go to Priscilla.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. One thing that Spirit is showing me is you kind of doing a little bit of yoga in the back. Feels like we got a lot, you're holding a lot of energy and stress all down your spine and in your back. And Spirit is asking you, do simple little, you don't have to twist up like a pretzel, do simple little movements. I feel like I need to too, to release that energy that's stuck in the body. The body holds trauma, and that's what some of this feels like. You might even have flare-ups with your back too that might come and go. And again, just release this energy. They're also cautioning you, couple of things here. Watch the way you lift things. When you lift and twist, watch that. And they're also, what else was that, Irene? And they're also cautioning you of not to take on too much in your life. And again, we all do that where we're, you know, burning the candle at both ends of the stick. So they're cautioning you, it's all around the back. So release the energy, stuck energy with your mind. Say, I release anything in my back that doesn't serve me to my highest good. Blow it out, you know, and just envision your back all lit up with a beautiful golden light. And that'll kind of send energy, and do this more than once, you know, and then that way, and then of course, you know, caution with walking. Gosh, okay, I don't. That kind of came right out of the woodwork here. Um, you know, whenever we get in a hurry, kind of watch where you're going when you walk downstairs. I do that too. Sometimes with my glasses, I have those bifocals, and I'll think I'm on the last step and I won't be. That doesn't end well. So they're just kind of cautioning, the physical body just a little bit and slow down and try not to be in a really big hurry. But again, it's really in the back and release the stress and try not to take on too much more. So that's what comes up for you, Priscilla.
Okay. Hope that helps you. Now, Bajan up, I know in subsequent comment he did request a reading, or she, I'm not sure. Bajan, we'll say that's their first name.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I got sidetracked there. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here just a bit. All right. We see where we love the way that you give advice and you're a good listener. Sometimes you can hear things that other people might not pick up on because it feels like you're really good at picking up on energy, and reading between the lines with people. So one thing is, again, I feel like we did a reading earlier for somebody who gives really good advice and good messages, and they might not even know that they do that. Sometimes it can just be a one-liner. But you're going to find to where people are going to say, wow, thanks, that really helped. And you'll be like, what? You might not even know what you said, but you don't have to know what you said as long as it helps them. So it just feels like that people are going to strike up conversations with you, even strangers when you're out somewhere. And just a few little words might really help these individuals. It feels like there's going to be just a whole bunch coming in, not all in the same day, but several here in the next couple of months to where you really do help people. And the more that you help people, the more that you like helping people, because then it's kind of a boomerang effect. And you don't help people just because you expect anything in return, because you don't. But everything has to balance out, and everything is karma. What you put out, you get back. So that's what we see for you. One thing too we do see from Spirit is that one of your loved ones from the other side feels like they're dropping coins in your path. So you might find money or coins, things of this nature, maybe even feathers, the same thing over and over. And you will just know when you see that. If you think of one of your loved ones on the other side, that's who it is. The first person that you think of is who's dropping these, we want to say, coins or feathers in your path. So that's what comes up for you.
Okay. Now we'll move on to Micaiah.
Okay. All right, Micaiah, let's see what we've got for you. Okay. Sometimes less is more is what your spirit team is saying when it comes to words. And sometimes you don't really have to say anything in order to get your point across to other people. Because sometimes it can be your actions, and sometimes it feels like that you might be around people, and you too, that can pick up on energy. And so sometimes you don't even have to say anything without getting your point across. Kind of like how a mother sometimes can just look at their kid and they know they're in trouble without, the mom even
Yeah.
saying anything. That's kind of what we see with her. Is really good at, I guess I want to say, projecting her energy out. And probably we like the way, really good at manifesting too, whether you know it or not. And we all manifest. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And a lot of us don't even know we're doing it. But we're all right where what we've manifested. We're living the life that we created in the past. And so if you don't like it, then change it, because there's something about the way that you're living right now that you either like or you want to experience. And that's with all of us. And that kind of sounds weird, but if you look at it from a really high perspective, we all come here to experience everything. And everything on the other side was great and super, kind of fun. We want to come here and experience things. And what better way is when we're faced with challenges and with obstacles. And that way, then we really learn and our soul can really evolve. And so we got sidetracked. I don't even know what we were talking about. I don't know what we did. Your team. Thank you,
You,
Irene. I
you're
got to
getting
tell you,
loopy now.
I am getting loopy. We're about to the end of it. But I got to tell you too, though, um, this could be her energy too, because when I get into people's energy, um, if I can't finish a thought and I jump from one thing to the other, that may be the way that person is too. I'll do that in my readings.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll start to feel them and think like them. So that might be too, where, she doesn't finish a thought and then gets onto something else. And then that can be very, you know, make you really anxious after a while, because then you get overloaded.
Yeah.
Your sensories get overloaded. So that's what comes up. And one last thing, real quick. It feels like she has a grandmother energy that's really close to her. Because I feel like somebody's starting to mess with my throat, and they do that when they come in from the spirit world. And it's a grandmother energy. And it's like she's trying to give you advice. Not that she's yelling at you, but she's trying to give you advice. Like, ask her questions, because it's like she's talking to you and talking to you. She's going to try everything she can. It feels like this lady might have had diabetes, because my teeth are starting to stick to my lips. And whenever I get somebody from the other side, or if I'm in somebody's energy that has diabetes, my lips stick to my teeth. Isn't that weird? It's always
Yeah.
done.
That
I
is weird.
don't know why. So that is what comes up. And one thing too, that the grandmother is saying, everything in moderation. So that is what comes up for Miss Micaiah.
Gaia.
I just read her message, and she was talking about a message from her late boyfriend, but it felt like the grandmother was coming through.
Wow. We have time for one more.
Okay.
Now, I know there are a lot of people here that looking for a reading, couldn't get it tonight, but after the show is over, just to remind everybody, in the comments section, post that you would like a reading. And after the show, Shari will go in and give you a reading through a reply to your comment. If you have a specific question that you wanted answered, Shari just gives general readings on the show. Post that question, and she will answer that question for you in the comments after the show. But let's go to our last reading of the night,
Mhm.
and it's Shari.
Okay.
Almost spells it like you.
Yeah. Huh.
Two R's
Okay.
instead of one.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got.
Or maybe it's Shari. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay. Let's see what we've got going on here. All right. First thing Spirit shows me is you putting things up on your wall. So you might find yourself starting to redecorate a bit. Instantly, the minute I said that, they kind of throw me into your house and where it is that you're living. And I'm big on saging. I'm really drawn to some mirrors in the home here, and we would like to see you sage some of those. You can get sage on Amazon or at a spiritual store. I call in the angels. I sage around, but I go into all the mirrors and I just say, anything in here, come out. We're not trying to scare you. Spirits are everywhere, and they are notorious for getting trapped into mirrors. And then just open your door and say, okay, now get out. That's the first thing that comes up. But again, we see you rearranging things. and you will find that less is more. I love to kind of rearrange things. And that's what we see coming up for you. We see you buying some really unique things, and it could be at a Goodwill, could be at a yard sale, something, but of course, sage those too. But we see where your taste is going to change when it comes to decorating your environment. And you're going to really start to switch. You're going to want a lot more color, bright, colorful things. And that's what we see, this little transformation. You might just be on the beginning of this, but it feels like it might really snowball, and you can have some fun with it because you're very creative. And the more that you can open up that creative side, the more color you're going to want. So that's what comes up for you, Shari.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. I think you've about reached your limit as
Frizzled
well,
out.
haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to read here too. She goes, pronounced just like Shari. So she pronounces it just like,
Just like you. Oh,
yeah.
interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that'll do it, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. Reminder, we have our new Saturday show starting January 18th. So
July. Or,
July, what did
yeah.
I say, January? July 18th, 10
That'd be
a.m.
a
Eastern
long way,
Time. Long
January.
way to wait, but thanks for our guests who agreed to have their readings shared with everyone else. We hope you liked them. As always, if you have a topic you'd like to for us to discuss or a question for Shari to answer, put that down in the comments section, and we'll try to make that happen. Maybe even next week. And if you'd like to book your reading, your own private reading with Shari, go to psychicshari.com, click on the Schedule Now button, select your date and time, and you'll get your reading.
Yep.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well. Click on the bell icon to be notified when new videos and new live streams are posted. That will do it, everybody.
Yeah. And can I say one thing too? Like after the show, when people put in their comments, and I love it because when people put in a comment, and then if I answer it, and then they answer back, that looks like 3 comments. I think it does, doesn't it, Bobby?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, it's okay to maybe have a dialogue back and forth a little bit because the comments do push us out into a bigger algorithm.
yeah.
So
All right. Thanks a lot,
okay,
everybody. We will
okay,
talk to you next Wednesday.
okay. Bye, everybody.
Take care.